Good morning, friends. Good morning. It's a crisp morning, not too bad. Thanks for watching the channel as usual. Welcome back. Today I have some brake rotors, a bunch of brake rotors. I've been collecting brake rotors for about 3 years actually, so it's been a while, but 3 years of brake rotors. And today I was going to trade them in. It's paying about 170 a ton, which is a little less than I wanted, but after about 3 years of not really getting anything for them, I mean, being less than 100 where I live in central Minnesota, now we get to trade them in for 170. So at least we're getting something semi-decent. In this little stack right here, there was 25 rotors. So I don't know how many are here. There's 75 maybe. And if you look at, I've already got this truck bed loaded full. I have 58 small rotors and 6 of these semi rotors. I figured these semi rotors are 100 a piece. They're pretty heavy, and the small ones about 58, maybe 15 pounds a piece. So I figured 1,300 pounds. This is again our 98 Ford. See, it's weighted down somewhat already, so we want to be careful not to overload this thing. This is the first time we've got it out. I've got it out this spring. It sits inside in winter to avoid the rust and salt, right? That's how it's not rusty or salty at this point. It's really kind of held in there strong for us. There's some rust at the bottom underneath, so it's been overall a nice pickup. It's a 2-door, so it's a 98 Ford, about 150,000 miles on it, and it's hauled in a lot of scrap for us. But mild winter, again, first time this thing's been out, and we're putting her to work right away. So we got about 1,300 pounds there, and probably hopefully have another maybe, I don't know, if there's 75 rotors here, maybe another 1,200 pounds maybe there. So that's 2,900, and then I have a pile about this size, maybe a little less, in another location that I can show you, that's got another maybe 1,000 pounds. So we're probably looking at, I know that's maybe 3,500 pounds on the high end. I don't know, it could be, I'm usually off on these things, but I'm guessing 3,500 pounds on the high end, maybe 3,000 for sure, or 2,750 for sure. So I'm looking to get a couple $100, maybe $300 out of all this, which would be nice. I do have to take it to 2 separate scrap yards, just because the rotor's in the other location, and then I can just drop it off on the way back to the other location. So not too big a deal, but it's not a lot of work. Some of you are like, well, you only make $300 for all that work, and really it's really no work. I just simply collect these and throw them where I find them, throw them off to the side, and don't think about them again. And then when I get enough, I take it in. And for 2 to 3 years, you can get number 1 Autocast, which is, I've seen as high as 300 back 4 years ago, but really has fallen down to as low as $100 a ton around here. So I didn't take it in, and now it's up to 170 where I'm at, which still is, like I said, kind of low, but at least it's better than 100. So my goal now will be to pick up these rotors and put them in the back of the truck, and get this thing, I don't know, we'll see how full I want to go with this. I don't want to overdo it here with the truck, and that'll be the last thing, break something with this truck. But get this thing nice and full, and then I'm going to drive it in and have it unloaded. So talk to you soon. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good one. All right, friends, back again later in the day, about 3 hours later. They're closed noon to 1 for lunch, but I figured, well, I have some unprepared to take in as well, some appliances, and I've got a stove, and I just picked this stuff up over the winter time. So figured I'd run it in. I found a couple other appliances and got a washer and a dryer. I don't know if that's some kind of old deep freezer, mini, kind of a smaller one, or refrigerator or something. And had our furnace redone this year. Got a stove and a bicycle. I cut the drop cord. This was all free to me, so it's not a ton of work. Just have to get it into the trailer. So that'll be the interesting part, is getting into the truck bed. I've got that stacked up pretty good. Put a strap on it before I go, of course, but somehow have to get get everything in. I figured the stove can go, or the stove can go right back here, and then the furnace up front, and then we'll have to get that one on top strapped down pretty good. So I figure hopefully maybe 800 to 1,000 pounds on this, and it does look like, I was pleasantly surprised on the rotors, and it does look like they're maybe paying 190, so that's better than the 170, so $286.90. And so I had 3,200 pounds today with everything in the back of the pickup, so that was plenty of weight for on the rotors. And this, I think they're paying 140, so if I can get another $70, that pays for all the gas and all that throughout the time getting all the stuff. So I will check back in later. Like I said, I've got some additional rotors around back. I don't know what's back here yet. Maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 25 rotors yet. And I've got about 60 at another location, or 50 at another location, so 75 rotors. And then I've got some different metal there, which I'll take in, and then a small piece of aluminum. So like I said, once I'm done with this load today, then I'll be able to tomorrow potentially take it to the other location and collect whatever I have remaining to collect. So as always, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Well, friends, welcome back. Dropped off the dryer, washing machine, furnace, stove, and ended up getting 620 pounds for $41.85. And that was 620 pounds, so a little less than I expected, but that pays for the gas. So I drove out to, they were actually paying $190 at the place I was just at, and so I'm off at the second location, and you can see that it's a pretty good pile right there. So that's we got a little bit of loading to do. I don't know what's there. I think we counted 32 rotors at my place, and then this might be another, I'd say 50 here. We'll count them and let you know, but that would be a total of 82 rotors times 15, maybe 1,300 pounds. Could be light again, hopefully it's 1,500 or maybe even 2,000 on the high end if there's more rotors. So we'll see how it goes, and then I'll take them first thing in tomorrow morning when it opens up. It's about 3 or 4 o'clock, and truck bed is empty, so my next step will be to load them up and then call it a night, and then take them in first thing tomorrow. So again, paying $190. We'll see what happens. All right, thank you. Take care.